Feel when you knew that Dylan said, Mom, Pattia's going to be moving here, even though you knew I hated you and wanted nothing to do with you? Like, maybe not call Dylan every day, 3 times a day.
So that's still bothering you?
Yes. Every day you have to talk to your mom. It's ridiculous.
I don't talk to her every day.
Sometimes it's 3 times a day. Yes, you talk to her 3 times a day, and it's been an issue with us for 12 years.
You're worried about that. Why don't you worry about your $20,000 debt that you have?
You got me into it. Dylan tells me I'm controlling. I'm like, what? How am I controlling?
Y'all, we need to talk about Pattiya because Miss Thing went too far in this episode. And I know that I've been giving it to Dylan, but Pattiya, we need to talk. Like, okay, I get having conflict, blending families, and I get feeling like there's a boundary issue. But to flat out tell your partner and his mother that you hate her to her face, that is audacious. And you could tell that she really means it. And I think the worst part of it is that I don't think Pattiya is going to let go of that hatred anytime soon. We have a lot to talk about. Let's get into it. Hi guys, welcome back to Nikki Faces Reality. We are here to discuss 90 Day Fiancé the other way, but in this video, I'm just going to discuss really quickly Pattiya and Dylan. There was a lot of filler in this episode, but I was really just flabbergasted at what we saw with them. So when we pick up with them, Pattiya is going to play tennis with Dylan's mom. She's been in Australia for a few weeks. Dylan's mom, I guess, wants to break the ice, wants to make sure that they get some bonding time in. It looks like Pattiya is going into this begrudgingly, and she tells us flat out she believes that this lady is too involved in Dylan's life and she is the reason why they are not married yet.
I feel like by her calling him every day, she influences him. She contaminates Dylan's head. I think she's the reason why we are not married today.
So I'm like, okay, Pattiya, be effing for real. This grown man that you've been dealing with for 12 years, his mother is not the sole reason why he hasn't married you. And with her saying that statement, I'm like, okay, you're using his mom as a scapegoat. And 2, you have zero self-awareness because he's told you to your face the other issues that you have, aka you have a control issue. You are in severe debt and he's afraid that you are going to drag him with you. And I'm sure that there are other reasons that he won't say, but like, it's been 12 years, you guys. So keeping that in mind, Pattiya is stepping into this tennis court with a lot of animosity. So they're playing, his mom is kicking her butt in this tennis court, and they take a break, have a breather. Pattiya takes this moment to basically let out her grievances. And she tells his mother, last time at dinner, there was so much that I wanted to say, but I didn't get to, so let me tell you. And she asks his mom, like, what did you think when Dylan told you that I was moving here after you know that I hated you?
When you knew that Dylan said, Mom, Pattia's going to be moving here, even though you knew I hated you and wanted nothing to do with you.
And when she said that, just so like blasé, like, yeah, I mean, you know that I hate you and you know that I told him that I want nothing to do with you guys when I moved here. How did that make you feel? Insane. And the mom is like, taking it and she's like, yeah, I was concerned to hear that you were moving because 1, you hate us, and 2, because the money issues. To which Pattiya's like, oh, well, I don't really have money issues. And the mom is like, you sure? You sure about that? And she's like, yeah, whatever debt I have, it's Dylan's fault. I'm like, wait, like how we can't get past the fact that she told you she hated you. I think that there's like a respect thing that I would never speak to my partner's parents that way. Also, that this relationship is of importance. Dylan is by no means estranged to his mother and his family. So to outwardly express disdain to both parties is disrespectful. And I think she's not grasping that they are not interchangeable. He's not going to get rid of them for you. And I just don't think that it's clicking to her that if anyone would be removed from this equation, it would be her. So I don't think that she's moving in a graceful manner. But the mom still gets past the fact that this lady told her she hates her. Then they get into this money thing because when she doubles down that, yeah, Pattiya, you have a money issue, Pattia's like, no, it's Dylan's fault. Mama's like, oh, so you're gonna blame this on Dylan too? And she's like, yeah, it's Dylan's fault because if I didn't have to move here, I would have saved. Ma'am, you've had 12 years to save. I don't think that it is fair to blame any of this on Dylan. The boundary thing, yes, I've gone in on Dylan plenty of times on the fact that I don't think that he's maneuvering this in the healthiest of ways. But Pattia girl, the accountability situation, you need to work on that. And if for any reason you're just jumping into this, years ago, she moved to Thailand to be with Dylan. They broke up. Before she moved, she sold everything. And so when she had to come back home, she had to start over. She is blaming that happened years ago on Dylan. She's saying that she hasn't been able to recoup, that she got into this huge debt. But the truth is, Pattia lives beyond her means. So what she wants is for Dylan to sell one of his many properties to pay off her debt that she blames him for, which again, I think it's one thing if he offers, but for her to demand that he do that for something that is not his fault is beyond. And so remember, Pattia believes that his mom is too much of an influence in his life and that he does overshare. And I agree, he does overshare, but then the mom leaks that he already told her that Pattia wants him to sell a property. So the mom is like, yeah, I understand that you want him to sell the property to help you. And Pattia's like, yeah, I think it's only right. It's his fault. And the mom is like, yeah, it's not my business, but I would advise that he doesn't do that.
He did say you are more than happy for Dylan to sell one of the properties to help you out.
Yes, I feel like he owes me that.
Well, I think that's terrible that you have that expectation that he's to sell one of the properties. That's obviously for the both of you to sort out, but I really would advise him against selling the property.
Pattia is red because she's like, see, now she's gonna get into his ear that he shouldn't help me with this debt. And I'm like, okay.
This is what I'm talking about when he shares too much information with his mom about us.
Now she's going to tell him to not sell one of his properties. First of all, it's like none of her business.
So they have no resolution on this money thing. And then Pattia drives home. She's like, listen, I think that you guys talk too much. Like, why do you guys have to talk every single day?
In order for me to feel comfortable here, I need to set boundaries. Like maybe not call Dylan every day, 3 times a day.
So that's still bothering you?
Yes.
And the mom is like, I thought we were past that. And Pattia's like, yeah, we are. And she's like, no, we clearly aren't if you're bringing it up. Like, it's still an issue that we talk. And like, I need to talk to my son and my son wants to talk to me. Like, it's not just me calling him. And I just think Pattia completely oversteps in the way that she's like, can you guys just talk like a few times a week? Do you have to talk like 3 times a day? And then she calls this lady needy. And you could see that at this point, like it's a line in the sand. This lady is like really offended, and rightfully so, because even as a wife, like you don't get to control the communication that your husband has or your partner has. I've agreed that I think that Dylan should not, share his relationship issues because obviously his mom is going to bring it up. And 2, like this isn't a throuple. It's between y'all, I do agree with that, but I don't agree that Pattia gets to say and how many times a day they talk. Should he be answering calls about nothing during their dates? No. We've already established that last episode. But they have a closeness, and we learned that Pattia doesn't have that, kind of connection with her family. And that's possibly why, like, it's so much. But again, that is his relationship that is separate from you. And I think that Dylan just needs to navigate these relationships separately. But again, I really do believe you don't have to be obsessed with his family, but you do have to respect his family. And I think that Pattia is very shamelessly disrespectful, very loud about the disrespect, and that wouldn't fly for many people. And I think that Dylan is being very chill about it, but I would imagine that this would have long-term effects in the relationship because no one wants to hear someone shitting on the person that they love, especially their mother. Like, for a lot of people that have good relationships with their parents, they wouldn't accept that, but they don't really have a resolution. They don't solve anything. I feel like things are more tense than ever, but they play nice in front of Dylan when he comes to pick up Pattia. They get in the car and Pattiya tells him, yeah, we had a conversation about the fact that, you guys really just talk too much and really you should leave it down to 2 to 3 times a week. Ma'am, what? And Dylan is, he's trying to be as cool as a cucumber. And I gotta give him that. We haven't seen him yell. We haven't seen him lose his cool. But she's pushing limits. And you could tell that he's upset because he's like, I don't think that it is your role to decide how many times I talk to my mom.
If it's a problem for me, then you should,
Why should you
respect how I feel.
Why would you stop the person that you love from doing something that makes them happy?
Listen, I'm not stopped, no.
Yes, you are.
Every day you have to talk to your mom. It's ridiculous.
I don't talk to her every day.
Sometimes it's 3 times a day. Yes, you talk to her 3 times a day, and it's been an issue with us for 12 years.
And again, we can talk about boundaries till I am blue in the face. And I agree that there's a time and place for everything. But if you notice, Pattiya has the same annoyed reaction no matter when the mom calls. And so I think the boundaries thing is important for Dylan to assert for any relationship that he's in. But I think that Pattiya also has an issue that she's annoyed no matter when the mom calls. And that kind of jealousy is a little psychotic because it's you're not competing for his affection with his mother. You are the one that's romantically involved with him. So it really does come out really possessive. And again, Pattiya, that is a you problem. And so at this point, Dylan starts lashing out. It's still in a calm way, but he's listen, I get it. She's not close to her family, so she probably doesn't get why me and my mom talk this many times. But again, it is not her position to try to control how I navigate my relationships. She needs to understand and respect it. And Pattiya is not backing down. And he's yo, how would you feel if she dies? And she's she's not gonna die. She's healthy. She plays tennis every day. That's not the point. His mother is up there in age. Again, she may not understand because she's not close to her people, but time is limited. Her intrusiveness can be a threat, but that can be fixed. You wanting him to remove his mother away from his life completely is an issue, and you are going to lose. And he tells her, he's listen, Pattiya, you need to pick your battles. You are being very controlling. She's I'm controlling? You're the one that's controlling. And so this becomes a tit for tat situation. And he's listen, you're worried about my mom. You should be worried about that debt. And I was
really sad that you'd be concentrating on that over all things in life. You're worried about that. Why don't you worry about your $20,000 debt that you have?
You got me into it. I've already told you about. Yes, you did.
No, it's funny that you blame me for everything that's gone wrong in your whole life. I get the blame for.
Yes.
And she again blames him and goes on that he's controlling.
Dylan tells me I'm controlling. I'm what? How am I controlling? You're the controlling one. Honestly, sometimes I think Dylan is a narcissist. It's always about him.
He's girl, look at it. Look at what you're trying to do. You're literally trying to control me. And how many times I talk to my mom and I'm controlling? He's listen, I don't know what your deal is. Do you maybe you think I'm going to abandon you? She's honey, I'm the one that's going to abandon you if this doesn't change.
I think you're worried that I'm going to abandon you.
No, but I'm going to abandon you if you don't freaking respect my wishes.
And I'm Pattiya, I don't know what leg you think you have to stand on. You've been waiting for a ring for 12 years. You're not going to go anywhere. Let's not give empty threats here. And he's just girl, you need to pick your battles and quickly, because it looks like we're going to have a miserable life if we keep having the same fight over and over again. And I thought that he handled that much nicer than I would have, because don't you dare tell someone in my life that they don't get to talk to me without my consent. You don't speak for me. You're not my mouthpiece. Especially a relative. I just thought that that was a huge, huge overstep. And again, I'm not saying that at the core, I'm not trying to invalidate her core feeling of wanting to feel there isn't a third person in her relationship and that she's not being judged from different directions. I get that. And again, Dylan, you watch my videos. I've told you that plenty. Don't share your business with your mom so much. But I don't think that it's right for her to say, don't talk to your mom at all. Many people talk to their parents many times a day. There are days that my mom does FaceTime me 3 times a day for random stuff, for directions, to talk to me about an Instagram post that she saw, like to check up on me for a number of reasons. It's just what parents do. However, if I'm in the middle of a date, I'll be like, hey, I'm busy. Is everything okay? Send her a message. There's just a time and place, and there's a way to navigate the situation. But again, I just think that her entire energy around the relationship, the disgust that comes out of her pores when his mom is even mentioned, I don't know how Dylan has handled that for this long. Like that would be a deal breaker for me. So yeah, I would love to hear your thoughts, you guys, how you would handle the situation, your opinions, all of the good stuff. I think I'm gonna make a video about Manon and Anthony's situation. The rest, I didn't really have much to say. But yeah, look out for that one probably tomorrow. But I just wanted to get out my thoughts on this hot mess today. So do make sure to let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching, and come back tomorrow for my next one.